This video is aimed at attorneys who are coming to glorious California to take the California bar exam. No doubt, all of you are attracted by our beautiful climate and by our lovely real estate market. Well, at least the climate is good. The difference between the attorney examination and the general bar examination is attorneys don't have to take the multi-state. That means that, for you, the California bar examination is only a 2-day exam on Tuesday and Thursday. And on Wednesday, presumably, you can all go and bill 8 or 9 hours and then come right back for the next day of the bar exam. Again, maybe not. Now, my first advice for those of you who are taking the attorney's examination is, maybe you should consider taking the general bar examination. And here's why. If you've always been good at multiple choice questions, if you had a high SAT score, a good LSAT score, and if the multi-state bar examination was the part of the exam that you were good at when you were taking your other state bar, why not just take it in California also? Now, if you look at my bar exam conspiracy theory video, you'll know that, in my opinion, and I think the truth is, the California bar exam essays are not graded based on what your multi-state score is. And it's true, the multi-state is worth only about 40% of your final score on the California bar exam. To be precise, it's actually 39%. So the multi-state will not make or break you if you happen to be quite good at the multi-state, but it can give you a cushion. So if you're good at multiple choice questions, you certainly should consider taking the general bar examination. And no, that's not necessarily a wrong answer to a one-question IQ test. If you're good at multiple choice questions, you ought to take the general bar examination. Sure, it's a 3-day bar that way instead of 2, but there's no reason to surrender a natural advantage if you've actually got one. So, beyond that threshold question, should you take the general exam or the attorney's exam, my next advice for you is also centrally important. Do not take the California bar examination lightly. This examination has weeded out some very prominent attorneys and legal scholars, and it could weed you out also if you don't prepare for it carefully. And what that means is practice. Even if you are a licensed attorney with a prestigious practice in another state, if you don't practice to get ready for the California bar exam, your chances are a lot more slim than they would be otherwise. And even if you are taking the attorney's exam, I think it's probably a good idea for you to do a fair number of multi-state questions in practice, not to become skillful at the multi-state, but to become knowledgeable about little nuances of law that are tested on the essays and the multi-state. Now, if you happen to hate multiple choice questions, go ahead and blow off that advice from me. You don't have to do multi-state questions to get ready for Cal Bar Exam essays. The most practical way to get ready for the written section of the California Bar is by doing as high a volume of practice for the essays as possible. Now, we have to define what practice means. Practice can mean something less than writing out full answers. It's possible to get a great deal of mileage out of organization and outlining. In my opinion, professionally, that's the real lawyer's work in answering bar exam essay questions in California anyway. The lawyer's work is spotting issues and organizing the response. The actual writing of the answer is somewhat more akin to what paralegals do than to what real lawyers often do. So I am much more concerned that my attorney applicant students go through as high a volume of essay questions as possible. Writing them out is a lot less important. An attorney candidate can get away with writing maybe 15, maybe 30 practice essays, but you should outline as many as you have time for. And that's why the online video course that I am offering here at calbarexam.com can be ideal for attorney applicants. With me, I will present an approach to each subject, and then, together, we will work our way through 8 questions from each subject. There's a separate section for remedies and a separate section for crossover questions. So, online, I present full analysis and full original model answers to over 100 past Cal Bar Exam essay questions. And as an attorney, realistically, it's quite likely you will work all the way up until pretty close until the bar exam. You can work through the essay questions with me online anytime you want. And I think you'll get more bang for your buck in terms of practice time. Finally, let me counsel all of you to pay close attention to your physical and emotional well-being. Being knowledgeable about the law and skillful at taking the exam is not enough to maximize your performance. Your physical and emotional health are worth a lot of points on the bar examination. Now, I am not suggesting that you quit all of your bad habits and go into therapy to resolve all of the issues you have with the people in your family and in your practice. I'm suggesting that you exercise common sense. And even if you think you're in good shape today, and even if your doctor thinks you're in good shape today, I urge you to plan on being in even better shape on the first day of the bar exam than you are at the time that you are watching this video. Your physical well-being helps your mental stamina on the exam. And I can tell you for sure, it is a grueling exercise, even if you don't really have that much on the line. Compare yourself, a licensed attorney coming to California, with your typical first-time California bar applicant, someone who's got $100,000 in student loans and who may have a big job riding on his or her success on the exam. Compared to that, the pressure on most attorney applicants is much lighter. Still, you should take the exam just as seriously as a first-time taker, and you should take into account your physical and emotional well-being. And that means striving for balance, striving for some degree of pleasure and satisfaction in your life as you prepare for this grueling examination. So, I suggest, once again, that organization is key to your preparation. You need to have organized your time well enough to do everything you need to do. And the most common mistake that attorneys make, along with their law school graduate brethren, is they study too much and they don't practice enough. I counsel you to take a look at everything else I offer for free here at calbarexam.com. I think you'll find it's well worth the time that you spend. And then, after that, do yourself and me a favor by enrolling in one of the courses that I offer. Good luck on the bar exam and in your future California practice. For calbarexam.com, this is Scott Pearce. Thanks for your attention.